Welcome everyone to Begin with Breath Tai Chi. My name is Dr. Adam Potts, the Tai Chi PT, and today is your Tai Chi Immersion bonus sample session. So today is a sample class where you're going to actually experience a little bit of what we're going to do over the next 12 weeks with our new Tai Chi Immersion Program. All right, this has been years in the making. We've had several students ask us to really make something where they can go deeper with their Tai Chi and mindfulness, but not necessarily have to teach. All right, we also have a teacher training, and so this is going to be great if you're not really wanting to teach, but wanting to go deeper with your Tai Chi. Or if you are wanting to do our teacher training later in the year, then this is going to be the best way to prepare for it. Okay, and then finally, if you are already a teacher, this is going to help you fine-tune your movements. It's going to help you really dive back in and review the philosophy of Tai Chi, the fundamentals and the principles of Tai Chi. All right, so it's going to be really great for just about everyone. It's going to be a great experience, and I can't wait to share it with you. All right, I'm a little excited if you haven't noticed. So. All right, and so what we're going to do today, though, is we can't do like a full session of what we would do because I wanted to give you a little bit of each piece of the program. So today is kind of a sample. All right, so it'll look a little different in our program, and I'll tell you all about the details. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go through and do a little warm-up. All right, and then we're going to actually go through the bow step. I'm going to teach you how to find the correct stance with your Tai Chi. So in our immersion program, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go into more of the details. All right, so you can really fine-tune your movements. We're going to do a silk reeling exercise. So silk reeling is these spiraling, coiling movements that we do with Tai Chi. So we're going to really play around with those, and we're going to do some of those today. All right, those will help you really work on coordination. It'll help your strength, your flexibility, and it'll help you move more gracefully, which is one of the key aspects of Tai Chi, moving slow and continuous like the rivers and the ocean. All right, we'll do a short Tai Chi flow. That way we can really just get into the flow, letting go of perfection, letting go of really the stress that we all face in our daily life. Right? This is going to help us come into the present moment. All right, after that, I'm going to go into a little bit of the philosophy of flow. Because once again, in our immersion program, we go a little bit deeper and I go into the principles. So we do a little bit more like teaching style, and that way you can really learn a lot. All right, and then at the end, I will go through all the details of our upcoming immersion program that starts May 20th. All right, so you're not too late. All right, so if you're wanting to learn more, then make sure to stick around until the end. All right, now before we get started, I'd love to get to know you all a little bit better. I know many of you I already know, but I'd love it if you typed in the chat or in the comments where you're from and the #1 benefit that you're wanting to get from Tai Chi. All right, this is a great way to connect with everyone. Oh, people are already doing that. Awesome. We have people from all over. All right, awesome. Tracy's here with me. Tracy's going to be co-teaching this immersion program with me. All right, and so she just waved there. All right, so if you don't know Tracy yet, you're going to love her. You might even like her better than me. So she's really been one of our senior Begin with Breath teachers for years. All right, so you're in great hands. She's a mindfulness teacher as well, also trained in yoga and lots of other great stuff. So she's just an awesome person overall too. So yeah, we have great people. We have a wonderful team. The Begin with Breath team is really amazing, and actually we're growing. All right, so stay tuned for an upcoming announcement in the next couple weeks as our team is growing. All right, awesome. Well, thanks for typing in the chat, but what I wanted to do now is just get up and start moving, right? That's why many of you are really here, is to lubricate the joints, right? To loosen up the joints, strengthen the muscles, work on reducing stress. All right, and so we'll start off with just a nice little warm-up. All right, so find a place where you can do some mindful movement. All right, so this will just be a very short warm-up to start. We're just going to do hip circles and shoulder circles just to get the blood flowing and get the energy flowing and loosening up the joints. So we'll begin by standing with your feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. Get as tall as you can through the spine, as if you're getting lifted up by the crown of the head, and then soften slightly so that you're alert but relaxed. Place your hands on your hips, and then begin to rotate your pelvis in a circle. All right, we'll do about 5 circles one way and then 5 the other. But this is a great way to really loosen up the whole lower body. So if you're short on time, this is something you can do every day. All right, and then reverse direction. All right, in our immersion program, we do all kinds of variations of this as well. All right, but this is the simpler version that's really good to do every day. All right, and then coming back to center, let the arms float down by the sides, lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and let them fall back and down. So big circular motions with the shoulders. This helps release tension from the neck, the upper back, and the shoulders. All right, this gets pretty much most of the upper body, so if you're short on time, you can do this one as well. So we get the shoulder rolls for the upper body, and then the hip circles for the lower. All right, one more time. Very nice. All right, and so now what I want to do is show you how to find your bow step. All right, the bow and arrow step, or we just call the bow step, is the most common stepping pattern or stance in Tai Chi that we do. And so I wanted to show you really how to get a proper stance. So you can follow along. I'm going to turn the music off for now. Let me just turn it down here. All right, we'll get it back going here in a minute. But it might be easier for you to hear me. And so what I want you to do is, I'm gonna do the back view. All right, so place your right foot forward. All right, so just pick a position or a direction, and that's forward. We'll call that 0 degrees. And then place your left foot heel to heel, 90 degrees. So your left foot's facing to the left, your right foot is forward in the shape of an L. All right, now step your left foot out 1.5 foot lengths. Now step your right foot forward 2.5 foot lengths. The back foot turns in 45 degrees. Your front leg is bent. The back leg is mostly straight, but don't let it lock out. Unlock it slightly so that it's not bone on bone there. You want it to be a little soft there. All right, and then you have 60% of your weight on the front leg, 40 on the back. All right, and that's called the bow step. So you can look down, and I'm just gonna show you, I'm gonna turn around here. I'll do like the mirror view. And so as you can see here, it's basically a Tai Chi lunge. So you might hear it called that. And what it is there's a space between the feet. Okay, so we're not real narrow. All right, for you yogis out there, there's a movement called Warrior Two, where we tend to be in the yoga lunge, right, where we're real narrow, where the heel is in line with the instep of the back leg. This is different. All right, this, you're gonna bring your foot out more. Okay, so that way you have your channel. All right, so you always wanna channel with your bow step with Tai Chi. All right, let's do the other foot now. So place your left foot forward, 0 degrees, right foot 90 degrees. Make the shape of an L, heel to heel. Step your right foot out 1.5 foot lengths, and then step your left foot forward 2.5. Turn the back foot in 45 degrees. Front leg is bent, back leg mostly straight. Front leg 60% of your weight, back leg 40%. And there you have your bow step. All right, now remember, it doesn't have to be real rigid. All right, you can always adjust from there. All right, so say you're in this position and you're like, I feel a little off balance, and maybe make it a little wider. You can step the back foot. Oh, okay, now I'm good. Nice and springy. All right, or it might be too wide. Maybe bring it in a little bit and be like, okay, that's better. Or maybe it's too far forward, so bring it in a little bit, make it shorter or longer. All right, so when in doubt, make it shorter or longer, wider or narrower. And that's how you find your bow step. All right, awesome. Did anyone already know that? Let's see, we have a lot of people that are in our online studio as well, so. Is this new for anyone? Did someone was just like, aha? Oh, I finally know how to step with the bow step now. All right, awesome. Lots of people learning new things already. Perfect. All right, and so that's gonna be really helpful for you because in our flow classes, especially, we do lots of bow steps. All right, so now when you're stepping out and you're feeling unstable, you're like, oh, that's because I'm too narrow. So I'm gonna step out a little bit. Okay, now I can do my flow, right? And you can do your thing. All right, so that's how you find your bow step, and that's gonna be important because now what we're gonna do is silk reeling exercises. All right, let me just check in here with the chat, make sure everyone's doing okay. Looks like we're good, awesome. All right, and so silk reeling, it's actually known in Chinese as Chansi Jin. All right, it's a term used in Tai Chi to describe a set of exercises designed to develop and refine the spiraling, twisting, and coiling movements found in Tai Chi. All right, the term comes from the image of reeling silk from a cocoon, which involves a continuous and smooth spiral motion. All right, so it's basically the spiral movements, to keep it simple. But really and we go into more depth in the immersion program, but for today, what I want you to think of when we're doing silk reeling is you want to be rooted. All right, so whether your feet are symmetrical, you want to feel kind of stable, right? So you want to feel stable. You don't want to feel like you're too wide where you're like kind of awkward, or too narrow where you're wobbling, right? So find a stable position. And then when you're in your bow step, because we do silk reeling in the bow step, also just make sure you feel stable. So that's called rooted. So you're rooted into the earth to where you're unlikely to lose your balance too much. All right, so that's the first thing, is feeling rooted. The other thing with silk reeling is to move from your center, all right, your waist. All right, and so actually let's do an exercise to learn how to do that first, okay? So this one's called knocking on the door of life. So let your arms hang, you can stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Okay, remember, slight bend in the knees, hands by the sides, and begin to turn from your waist and your torso and let the hands just knock naturally. The front hand will knock against the abdomen, the back hand will knock against the lower back. But try to move from your center, let your torso guide the movement. All right, your arms are like empty coat sleeves. All right, this teaches us how to not only relax our shoulders, but how to move from our center and the arms follow. All right, this is going to be really something you can do every day. Actually, I do this as a warm-up myself. It kind of lubricates the spine. And knocking on the door of life is an acupressure point in the lower back. When we knock on it, it stimulates the energy as well. So it's really good to do, kind of like a little back massage too. All right, and then coming back to center, and then take a moment just to notice how you feel. You might already start to feel some buzzing, tingling. That's the energy already flowing. All right, so move from your center, make sure you're rooted, and then move coordinated. All right, so you want to move slowly with purpose or mindfully. All right, and then also relaxed. All right, so to summarize, make sure you're rooted, move from your center, and move relaxed. We'll just say, just try to be as relaxed and soft as you can. All right, that's gonna allow you to move more smoothly. All right, you all ready for your first silk reeling exercise? All right, I don't have a drum roll, but I used to have one on my little keyboard. I could hit a button. But anyways, all right, so let's find your bow step once again. All right, so it doesn't matter which side. If you want, I can be your mirror view. So this would be your right leg forward, left leg, remember 45 degrees in relation to the front leg, nice stable bow step. All right, we're gonna do shoulder spirals. All right, this is one of my favorites. All right, and so what you're gonna do is let the arm, so if this is your this is your right leg forward, let your left arm just dangle. And then what you're gonna do is use your torso to move the arm forward and then bring the shoulder up and back and then down. All right, so forward and up and then back. So forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Now you'll have to use your arm a little bit here, right? But really try to guide the movement with your center, your waist. All right, it doesn't have to be big movements, but this is a really great way to lubricate your shoulder. All right, so the arm comes forward, back, and down. All right, nice and smooth. All right, remember to root down through your feet, move from your center, and breathe. I forgot that part. Always want to breathe. All right, so you can breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, up, breathe out, down. All right, and you can switch breathing patterns with silk reeling as long as you're breathing. That's really the key. Let's do one more. All right, let's switch sides. So now step your left foot forward into your bow step. Your right foot could be out 45 degrees. You're in your lunge. Make sure to check back in. Do you have a channel or are you too narrow? If you're too narrow, then just make it wider. All right, that'll make you more stable and rooted. And then if your left leg's forward now, your right arm So basically the opposite arm is just dangling, right? Remember, empty coat sleeve. Shift your weight forward, the arm comes up. Shift your weight back, it comes back and then down. So forward, up, back, down, and then try to find a little rhythm. Right, breathing in, breathing out. Soften anywhere that needs to soften. If you feel any tension, just let it go as best you can. All right, we usually do about 10 repetitions when it comes to silk curling, but honestly, I'm not counting. So, so we'll just do a bunch. But if you start to feel tired, then please listen to your body. And if any of these movements bother you, you can just skip them or just do small motions. All right, let's do one more. Really feeling the sensations. Very good. All right, how does that feel? Your shoulders feel loosened up? All right, this is gonna be really good if you have any previous shoulder injuries. Always check with your primary care provider first. But this is kind of one exercise I would give to a lot of my patients as a physical therapist, especially once they were cleared after surgery, they can get in more movement. Then what I would do is have them do pendulums where they would just swing back and forth like that, and that loosens it up. And then I would have them, oh, now bring it up and back. Oh, and before they didn't even know it, they were doing silk reeling. I was tricking them into Tai Chi. All right, and so now, let's do more. So that's how you do silk reeling for one joint. So we just did silk reeling for the shoulder. All right, but we can add in the whole body. We really want to add in the whole body. All right, and so now we're going to do one arm at a time. We're going to do cloud hands. All right, but we're going to do it a little different than we usually do it. We're going to do it Chen style. So Chen, let me just demonstrate it first. So we're in a nice stance. You can be a little bit wider for this. I like to do a little bit wider than shoulder width. Knees slightly bent. All right, you place one hand on your hip, all right, the other hand out to the side, okay? Then this hand here is gonna drop down, it's gonna float up, and then the palm turns away, and then it drifts across the horizon. All right, so it comes down, up, and then drift across. All right, you really wanna, and then you can follow along now if you want. Now, normal cloud hands, the palm faces towards the body with yang style. With Chen style, which I like to do that with silk reeling, is it faces away. So we switch it up a little. But if you're like, I gotta stick to yang style, then you can just keep the palm facing towards you. But if you add in a little bit more rotation, you can really start to feel that spiraling motion, I think, even better. All right, now, once again, rooting down, moving from your center, moving slow, continuous, graceful, and smooth, soft from your center, and breathing. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, and then you can even make it a little bit faster if you want. If you're like, all right, I got a little bit of a rhythm going now. Remember, the torso turns first, and then the arm kind of follows. And just see how that is. All right, one more time. The cloud hands, one arm. All right, and let's switch sides. So other hand on your hip. All right, I like to think of it, this helped me when I first was learning. It's like you're dipping your hand in a bucket of paint, and then you're painting across a canvas. All right, so you're scooping under, and then painting across. Okay, breathing in, and breathing out. And can you notice how I'm shifting my weight? So I'm really going over to this side, and then I'm shifting my weight over, coming up, and across. All right, I really like this one because it's pretty simple compared to some of them. And you can really get in that spiraling motion if you rotate the hand and come across. So it really kind of shows you that spiraling motion of silk reeling. All right, we already kind of did the shoulder. So remember the shoulder, arm. So it's basically shoulder, elbow, then wrist, then hand too. So it's really like a wave. All right, one more time. Cloud hands, Chen style, one-handed. All right, should we try two hands? All right, now we're gonna test your coordination. All right, let's start it off how we usually do though. So we're gonna hug the tree. All right, remember to root down here. a little bit of a wider, I like to do a wider stance with silk reeling, but you can be narrower if you want, okay. All right, the arms open wide. All right, this hand's gonna drop down, and then the hands switch. All right, the top hand faces away, and they both come across. All right, the hands switch again, top palm faces away, and they drift across like clouds in the sky. All right, switch again, and just going back and forth. Once again, if this is messing you up, if you're used to yang style cloud hands, then you can always have the palm facing towards you. Remember to move from your center, rooting down, relaxed, and breathing. All right, shifting the weight. Moving smooth and slow. And you can experiment with different speeds. So it's like, all right, let me go a little bit faster and see how that goes. I kind of find like a sweet spot, and it's different day to day. Some days I just want to really just go nice and slow and feel every single motion. Other days I just want to feel this energy flowing. Going a little bit faster sometimes gets it going a little more. So play around with it. You can do this as a standalone exercise. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll take a little break here, coming back to center. All right, once again, take a moment to notice how you feel. It's great to do this between all silk reeling movements if you can. Although we will, in the immersion program, I'm gonna put together a whole sequence for you that you can do that you'll have lifetime access to. So a whole silk reeling sequence. Actually, I think we're gonna do about 3 of them. So it'll be really fun. Does that sound good? All right, I'm really excited. So this is something that I like to do on my own all the time, is just all these 1-arm and 2-arm silk reeling exercises. All right, feel free to have a seat if you like. You can have a drink of water too. Oh, Michelle, great question. She says, how many movements are we gonna be learning? So silk reeling, I've developed over 40 silk reeling exercises. Some of them are traditional. Some of them I've kind of modified based on my experience as a physical therapist so that they're safer. Because some of them I was like, ooh, I don't know if people should be doing that. It's more likely to get injured. And I'm like, we don't need people getting hurt, we can do other stuff. So I've modified a lot of them so that they're safe and effective. We're also going to be going through the crane flow. We might not, I don't know if we'll go through all the movements because I don't want to feel rushed. I want to take our time and play around with the movements and do more experiments. So, but we're going to be using the crane flow, which is one of our Tai Chi flows, as kind of a template to where we're going to break down some of the traditional Tai Chi movements and Qigong. All right, so for now though, let's do a little Tai Chi flow. We'll do some of the crane flow that you'll be learning all the movements to. You'll be learning the details of many of the movements, I should say. All right, so as always, don't worry about getting the movements perfect. We're gonna do our Tai Chi flow. All right, I'll be your mirror image. You can have a seat at any time. All right, we'll begin with the feet together or as close as you can. The hands can come to the lower abdomen. Just taking a few deep breaths in and out. Breathing in, the belly expands. Breathing out, the belly returns toward the spine. Abdominal breathing, sometimes known as the belly breath. Or you can take as many breaths as you like in any way that you like. If you prefer just to breathe normally, that's okay too. Whatever helps you really arrive in the body. Feeling rooted into the earth. Coming into the present moment. Letting go of all the worries from the day. Coming into the here and now. And then on the next inhale, you can hold your breath at the top just for a moment. And then let it out with a big sigh. Just letting out tension and stress. The hands can float down by the sides. And as you breathe in, the arms float up. They circle in front as if you're gathering in energy, bringing it in towards the heart, and then send it down towards the earth. Sinking the chi. Breathing in, gather. Breathing out, directing down. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Feeling all the sensations that you can. One more time, sink the chi. And then step one foot out to the side, either foot. The arms float up in front to about shoulder height, The arms get heavy, floating down, the knees and hips soften. Breathing in like mist rising from the lake. Breathing out, floating down like a gentle rain. We call this opening the door, the start of the journey. One more time, rising up, softening down. This time the arms float out to the sides like you're spreading your wings. The arms float down, the palms face up. They float up the midline of the body, pressing up overhead, and then floating out and down, holding up the sky. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, letting go. Opening the shoulders, opening the chest, decompressing the spine. One more time, holding up the sky. This time the hands float up to the heart. One hand pushes up, the other pushes down, connecting sky and earth. And then switching sides, keeping the spine neutral at first. And then this time, if you like, you can do a side bend, always easing in, never forcing it. Once more to the other side, connecting sky and earth. And the bottom hand comes up, push to the corner, the other hand pushes behind. Coming back to center, push to the other corner, the dragon spreads its wings. Nice and easy, gentle rotation, pushing to the corner. One more time. This time the back hand swings around as if it's gliding on the surface of the water. The other hand comes around as the dragon swings its tail. It's like you're making little ripples in the water, sending waves out into the distance. One more time, drift across. This time the hands come together in prayer position. They float across the eye level, and then across the heart, and then across the lower abdomen, the swimming dragon. The hands float back up for another round, drifting across, opening the wrists, the shoulders, the elbows, a little bit lower, and then coming back up for another round. Coming across up high, and then medium, and then down low. And then one more round, swimming dragon. Really feeling the sensations. And then from here, release. Round out as if you're hugging a big tree. And then step one foot out a little bit wider. From here, the fingertips point down, dipping towards the earth. Then they come forward, coming all the way up and over, and then down in front of the body. Digging in the garden. Coming down as much as you can comfortably, rising back up. Getting in our squats for the day. One more time, digging in the garden. And then reverse direction with the hands floating up and over and down. And then coming up the center. And then back around as we harvest from the garden. All right, one more time. And then round out as if you're hugging a big tree. Step one foot in a little bit closer. And then from here, both arms drift over to the side and down. And then just drifting side to side, like tall grass in the breeze. Nice gentle sway. And then shift all your weight over to one side, tap the heel right out in front. Like you're testing out the water, step back in, shift the weight, other side, tap the heel. All right, this time tap the heel, the hand comes over the foot. Other side, tap the heel, the hand comes over the foot. This time, hand over the foot, the other hand in front of the heart, playing the pipa, the Chinese guitar. Other side, tap the heel, the hands come out in front. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, play the pipa, the Chinese guitar. And then step in, hug the tree, step one foot out a little bit wider. From here, the arms open wide, the wrists cross down low as you soften down. And then as you rise up, the arms open overhead, floating all the way out and down. gathering the energy from the earth and then giving it back to the sky above, harmonizing yin and yang, creating balance and harmony in the body and mind. One more time, harmonize yin and yang. And then reverse direction with the arms circle in front, hugging the tree. Step one foot in a little bit closer. From here, shift all your weight over to one side, draw the hands in towards the heart and step in, and then step out to the corner as you push forwards in space. Draw the hands back in, and then push forward, pushing the mountain. Nice and easy, nice and slow. One more time, pushing the mountain. This time, draw the hands in, the palms face each other, the hands go out to the corner, palms face away from each other, they open, circling out and around, scooping under, and then back out to the corner, parting the clouds. Breathing in, breathing out. Taking as many breaths as you need. Just keep on breathing. Very nice. One more time, parting the clouds. And then step the front foot back in, the hands come back in towards the heart, shift the weight as you step in, and then step out to the other corner as you push the mountain. Really feeling into the body, bringing mindfulness to the body. One more time, pushing the mountain. And then draw the hands in, palms face each other. The hands go out to the corner, palms face away from each other. They open, circling out and around, scooping under, back out to the corner, parting the clouds. See if you can feel the air between the fingers. How mindful can you be? Just tuning into the body, feeling rooted into the earth. One more time, parting the clouds. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree. From here, the arms open up wide. This hand scoops under the other one on top as you embrace the moon. And then switching sides, spinning the moon. And you can soften down if you like, rising up, softening down, breathing in, breathing out. This time the arms open up wide. This hand here scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. Top hand goes behind the back just for now. Step out to the corner, and as you step out, the bottom hand tosses the moon into the clouds. And then circle it around again, toss away. As if you could toss the moon. This time the other hand comes back on top, catch the moon. Bottom hand floats up, the other hand pushes down. Circle it around again, parting the wild horse's mane. And as always, don't worry about getting it perfect. As long as you're moving, I'm happy. Breathing in, breathing out one more time, parting the wild horse's mane. This time the bottom hand scoops up, the wrists cross. The arms float down as you circle out and around, and then back up top. The princess on the mountaintop. Breathing in, open. Breathing out. And once again, just coming up as much as you can comfortably. Just letting go of striving. One more time. The princess on the mountaintop. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree. From here, the arms open wide. Then this hand scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. Top hand goes behind the back, step out to the corner. Bottom hand guides the moon into the clouds. Circle it around again, toss away. This time the other hand on top, catch the moon. Bottom hand floats up, other hand floats down. Parting the horse's mane, creating tranquility out of chaos. The calm within the storm. Breathing in, breathing out, moving from your center. One more time, parting the wild horse's mane. This time, bottom hand scoops under, wrist cross. The arms float down as you circle out and around, and then back up top to the mountain peak. Circle it around again, the princess on the mountaintop. It's a nice gentle stretch, big open. Still breathing, one more time. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree, and soften. From here, both arms drift over to the side and down. And then once again, just drifting side to side, letting go of any tension, any stress. This time, the arms float up to shoulder height. And then switching sides, floating up to shoulder height. This time, this hand here scoops down and then comes right out in front to eye level. And then down. Same side, just the arms at first. The hand comes right up in front, the other one by the hip. This time, you can lift your leg if you like, on the same side as the arm in front, touching down as needed. The rooster stands on one leg. Touching down or lifting up, meeting yourself where you're at. You can always go forward from there. One more time on this side, the rooster stands on one leg. And then the arms drift over to the other side, floating up to shoulder height, taking your time. And then this hand here scoops down and comes out in front to eye level and down. And once again, just the arms at first. The hand comes out in front, the other one by the hip. This time you can lift your leg if you like. Touching down as needed, the rooster stands on one leg. It's okay to wobble. Promise I won't get mad. Touching down or lifting up. Just letting go of judgment the best you can. Bringing curiosity instead. One more time, the rooster stands on one leg. And then circle in front, hugging the tree, and soften. From here, the arms open up wide, the hands float down, the backs of the hands face each other, they float up the midline of the body, and then drift out to the side, the fountain. Breathing in, rising up, breathing out, letting go. How much can you let go? As we learn to move like water, soft but powerful. Breathing in, breathing out one more time, the fountain. This time the palms face up, one hand on top of the other by the lower abdomen, and then this hand floats all the way up and over, and then down the center line of the body. Other side, breathe in as the hand floats up, breathing out, centering. Creating mental focus and clarity, calming the heart, calming the mind. One more time, centering. This time, both hands float all the way up and over, just as much as you can, comfortably. The hands float down to the waist as you soften down. Then circle the hands in front, as if you had a big ball in front of the body, coming all the way around and under, back up to the heart, and down. One more time, opening the heart, rising up, softening down, and then this time making a diamond shape with the hands in front of the heart, and then pressing out, sending out all your loving kindness to the world. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And then turning your palms to face yourself, the hands come to the heart. May I be kind to myself. May I feel connected with all beings. May I love myself just as I am. And the hands can float down to the lower abdomen. You can step your feet together, or as close as you can. You can close your eyes or just keep a soft gaze, letting your body rock and sway ever so slightly. Bamboo in the wind. Just feeling the sensations in the body. Feel the sensations of the breath. And then bring your attention into your heart, creating an inner smile. Expressing gratitude to yourself for being here today. And then if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open them. The hands can come together in front of the heart, and we can finish with a bow. All right, feel free to have a seat at this point if you like, or if you're not already. All right, I'm going to play a little bit of some healing flute music for you for more relaxation and inner peace. All right, and at this point, I'm going to share about a 5-minute guided meditation on mindfulness of the breath for happiness. So find a comfortable position, either sitting, standing, or lying down. Sitting is usually the easiest for beginners. Allow your hands to rest gently on your lap or anywhere that feels effortless. Get as tall as you can and then soften slightly so that you're alert but relaxed. Closing your eyes or keeping a soft gaze, feel yourself sitting here in the here and now. Take a moment to arrive here and then noticing the breath. Just noticing the inflow and the outflow without trying to control it in any way. Just taking note. Does it feel fast or slow? Is it smooth or turbulent? Is it deep or shallow? And then taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose and gently exhale through your mouth. And then returning to your natural breathing pattern, notice where you feel the breath. Do you feel it entering your nose, the nostrils, or more in the lungs, in the chest? Or do you feel the rising and falling of the abdomen? Wherever you feel it most, this can be your anchor. So when your attention starts to wander, you can simply bring your attention with kindness and gentleness back to your breath and back to your body, wherever you feel it most. And just pick one anchor for this session. And now invite a subtle smile. Not forced, but soft and natural. Let it arise from the inside, as if you're smiling with your breath. With each inhale, you can silently say to yourself, breathing in, I feel calm. And with each exhale, breathing out, I smile. Let these words be like waves, simple, soothing, repeating softly with your breath. And as your body relaxes, imagine each breath bringing a warm glow into your chest. This light is peaceful, gentle, and carries the seed of happiness. It doesn't have to be big, just a spark, a flicker, enough to warm the heart. And then stay here breathing into that warmth. Breathing in, feel that light grow. Breathing out, allow it to spread through your chest, your shoulders, arms, and face. This moment is enough. This breath is a gift. Let happiness be something small and quiet, like sunlight resting on your skin or the stillness of early morning. Breathe with that gentle joy for just a few more moments. And then when you're ready, you can begin to deepen your breath, feeling the chair or surface below, the ground beneath your feet. You can wiggle your toes or fingers. And then if your eyes are closed, whenever you're ready, you can slowly open them, just noticing how you feel. All right, I also wanted to share a poem with you called A Place to Play, one that I made recently. Standing still, I feel the breeze. I begin to move and soften the knees. The grace pours in as I let go of what I want and all that I know. Hardness tries to take its hold. It turns the mind and body cold. I feel my feet connected below. I lift my head and feel the flow. Softness now begins to warm as mindful movement takes its form. A dance between the night and day, a coming home, a place to play. All right, well, thank you all for playing with me today so far. I'd love it if you tuned into your body, really notice how you're feeling. Type in the chat or the comments how you're feeling right now. Love to hear about your experience. All right, and while you're doing that, part of our immersion program is going more into the principles and philosophy. All right, so today I just picked one of the kind of principles that we'll talk about in the immersion program, which is flow, right? Seeing that that's why most of you are here, is to really get into the flow. And so what is flow? What I'm gonna do now is share my slides with you. All right, I have some slides because I'm a visual learner, so it helps me with pictures. So I'm gonna share those with you. Let me just share my screen here. Oh, thanks everyone for typing in the chat or the comments. Awesome, received a great visual from the poem. Awesome, thanks Connie. All right, yeah, I have lots of poetry now, so I'll be sharing all that in the immersion program. Lots of music too, lots of flow. So what about Tai Chi Flow, right? So that's what our classes are based on. All right, so what is flow? Well, first, really, what does it do? Right, one of the main things is it allows us to experience Tai Chi in a fun and easy way. Right, you don't have to memorize anything. You still learn the movements, but you learn them in your body. All right, and so that's one of the beautiful things about flow in our flow classes. It allows us to let go of perfection. All right, usually when we try to be perfect, we get tense. And when we get tense, we tend to suffer more and get stressed, and lots of other bad things happen to the whole physiology. But when we soften and relax, let go, we activate our inner healing mechanisms, our healer within, our inner pharmacy. Right, it also allows us to experience this flow state relatively quickly. Right, some people feel it on their first day, like, wow, I just let go of all that stress and I was just there. I was just moving mindfully, feeling wonderful. All right, so in Tai Chi philosophy, in Tai Chi Flow philosophy, flow is in Tai Chi is really described as movement that is smooth and continuous. All right, and so as you start to practice or play more and more, you'll feel your movements becoming more smooth and continuous. All right, everything starts to work together more harmoniously. So all of our systems, our cardiovascular system, our neurological, our endocrine, our respiratory system, all of our systems begin to kind of play nice. They start to work better. So really, that's why Tai Chi pretty much helps almost any condition that you have. You might need other stuff too, but adding in Tai Chi is oftentimes something that helps even more. One thing you'll notice when you're in this flow is things are graceful. You'll feel this movement seamless and coordinated. And it also has to do with the mind. All right? The mind, body, and breath are all unified. So everything working together where you're present and mindful. All right, so that's why flow is so important, because those are the things that people really, I think, want. All right, and so this picture kind of helped me too, is at first, our flow or our movements or even our mind are it's pretty much more turbulent, right? We have more turbulence in our life, in our mind. Our movements rough, maybe sporadic. Our mind's preoccupied. But then as we practice and play more and more with Tai Chi, we start to get more and more into the flow. So it's not like a yes or no, it's a continuum. So we get more and more into the flow. We get more mindful. We get smoother and more continuous the more we do our Tai Chi flow. All right, so in our immersion program, we're going to be doing lots of flow, but we're also going to break down the movements, because that's one of the ideas with the immersion, is we're going to learn some more of the details. All right, and so if you're wanting to stick around, I'm going to go through all the details of our Tai Chi immersion program starting on May 20th. All right, so this immersive program is really meant to build a strong foundation in Tai Chi principles. It'll help you refine your movement techniques and deepen your practice alongside a supportive group of kind and compassionate individuals. All right, so who's this for? So as I mentioned earlier, it's great for beginners or practitioners with experience. All right, and so if you're really wanting to go deeper with Tai Chi, but you're not really wanting to teach, this is going to be perfect for you. Also, if you're interested in becoming a certified Tai Chi Flow instructor, we're actually having a training in August. This is going to be the best way to prepare for that. All right, you're going to do so much better if you do this first. It's not required, but highly recommended. All right, it's also great for Tai Chi instructors already. If you're already certified, yeah, we're going to do lots more silk reeling that we haven't. There's movements that I have not even shown to anyone yet. I had just finished really fine-tuning them, making them safe and effective. And so you're going to learn all kinds of exercises you can do, either standalone or you can weave them into your Tai Chi Flow classes, or use them as like warm-ups or bonus lessons at the end. All right, so this is what we'll do. This is the curriculum. So we'll go through the Tai Chi history, philosophy, and principles. You're going to be getting a manual. It has it all written out, but we'll actually talk about it in class. But you're going to have all this nice manual that you can refer back to. All right, we'll go through the foundations of Tai Chi and Qigong movements. So as I mentioned, we are gonna break down the movements. We're gonna go into the details. Where exactly do you put your foot? Where do the hands go? How far do you turn your torso? And even where do the eyes go? We're gonna go through all that in the immersion program. Philosophy of flow. So as we talked about today, we go even deeper and really just build on our flow and our ability to get into flow. There'll also be an introduction to mindfulness. So mindfulness and meditation. All right, so we're gonna do kind of like the meditation we did today, but in addition to that, we're also gonna get worksheets. So I have a whole set of worksheets that after we do the meditation, you can start journaling and then really go deeper. And then after that, share it with others if you like. We're gonna break into small groups at the end of class. So it is optional. And so if you're like, oh, I hate doing group stuff, then you can just sign off at that point. Feel free to sign off because we'll save it to the end. That way you don't miss the main part. But at the end, on Thursdays, we're gonna break into groups. And mostly on Thursdays, I think we'll do it like that. So we'll do meditation, journaling, and then breakout rooms there. All right, but we'll also do Tai Chi, and lots of Tai Chi on Thursdays too. All right, and then finally, we're gonna go into the foundations of silk reeling. All right, this is gonna really help not only lubricate your joints and really just work as a great exercise, but it's also gonna help you fine tune the principles that we do with movement in all of our Tai Chi classes. All right, it's gonna help you with that rooting, with moving from your center, coordination. It's gonna help you, become more flexible and graceful. And I really think they're really fun. So that's why I like to do it mostly. All right, so here's the course format. We're gonna do a 12-week course starting on May 20th. So that's gonna be on a Tuesday. And so I'm gonna be doing, hosting a live Zoom session, kind of like today, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, US. And then Tracy will be hosting it every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, US. All right. Now, all the classes are recorded. They're each gonna be 1 hour each, and you'll have lifetime access to the recordings. So I get a lot of questions like, oh, what if I can't make the Thursdays or the Tuesdays or any of them? You can still join us or enroll, and you'll get all the replays and lifetime access, so they don't go away. All right, that way you can revisit them too at your own pace. All right, there'll be some bonuses in there too. Like I said, we're gonna not only go through a lot of silk reeling exercises, but I'm gonna make some sequences just for you. All right, that way you can use it as like a little session for yourself, in addition to your Tai Chi Flow and traditional Tai Chi, if that's something you like to do too. All right, and so normally the course is $495. However, if you're a studio member, all right, if you're part of our monthly or annual membership to our online studio, Begin with Breath Connect, all right, that's where we have 8 live sessions every week, so you would know if you're a studio member. Then for you, it's only $245. All right, for non-studio members, normally $495. So for you, it's $295, plus you get 6 months access to our studio, so that way you can try it out and see if it's something you want to do long-term. All right, it's normally $370 a year for our studio membership, but you'll be getting 6 months for free. And it just expires. So it doesn't like auto renew or anything for this. This is just a 6-month bonus and then it'll expire, but I will send out an email prior to it expiring. And if you did want to continue, we'll also give you a big discount on the membership. So it won't be $370. So just for being part of our program, you'll get a big discount. So. All right, we also have payment plans. So at checkout, you can do it full pay, or you can do a 3-pay, a 6-pay, or spread it out over a year. It's really up to you. I wanted to make this as really accessible as possible. All right, so just to, if you're not a studio member, you'll be getting 6 months access to try it out, where we have a video library of over 1,000 classes. All right, and so there's 8 new ones every week. We just put them into our video library. So we get 8 new ones every week, so you can watch them live or the recording. All right, each class is 60 minutes, although we do have 2 30-minute flows for people that are just starting out or maybe just want to do a shorter flow, but you want to do it live via Zoom. Then you can hop on one of those. We also have monthly workshops, so you'll have access to, well, 6 of them, 6 months of monthly workshops where we go even deeper into Tai Chi and mindfulness, and those are 90 minutes each. So you'll be assigned a mentor who will reach out to you within your first week. That way they'll make sure, right now it's Deb, so Deb will reach out to you and she'll make sure everything, that you're good to go. And that way you can get access to everything that we talked about. Plus, she has 2 weekly onboarding sessions and Q&A every week. All right, so you can hop on live with her and she can share your screen or walk you through the studio click by click. But I do send you, once you enroll, you will get a video tutorial right away, and it shows you how to access everything click by click. But then Deb will reach out to you just in case, or you can hop on one of her onboarding sessions. And that way you can get all your questions answered without any hassle, without having to hunt us down. We're there for you. Lots of support. All right, this is currently our weekly schedule. So as I mentioned, we have 2 onboarding sessions. These are all Eastern time, by the way. And then we have 8 live sessions every week. We kind of have a mix of focus. We have mostly, like I do Tai Chi for balance on Mondays. Deb focuses on strength on Tuesdays. Wednesdays more on flexibility. And then we just do kind of regular flows on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. So lots of options for you. You don't have to do all of them. We recommend doing 1 to 3 classes a week. So if you're doing the immersion, maybe just do that and then maybe 1 extra class if you want. So Thursdays, Tracy's going to be doing the crane flow. All right, and so those are the movements we're going to be going into. So if you want to do a crane flow every week, that's going to be a great one to go to or watch the replay. Okay, once again, they're all recorded. They'll be uploaded to your video library within 24 hours. All right, so just to recap, it's a 12-week course, 24 live sessions, lifetime access to the recordings. All right, even if you join the studio membership and then cancel, you'll still have this on your dashboard. All right, each session will be 1 hour. All right, studio members, you'll get it instead of $4.95, it's $2.45. Non-studio members, instead of $4.95, it's $2.95 plus 6 months access to our online studio, which has all that great stuff we talked about. All right, payment plans at checkout, full, 3-pay, 6-pay, or 12-pay. Oh, I think we covered it all. All right, so click the link in the chat. I'm gonna put that if you're here live. If you're on the replay, there'll be a link right below the video. So just go in the video description or below the video, and you can just click on that link and you can enroll. Once again, you'll get a welcome email right away with a video tutorial that shows you how to access everything. But then Deb will reach out to you within your first week just to make sure everything's good. All right, so we'll come to you. And then, but you can also hop on any of her onboarding sessions and Q&A. Oh, by the way, if you're already a studio member, you can still go to those onboarding and Q&A sessions if you have questions. So sometimes she gives you lots of tips too on like, oh, how to make your own playlist in the studio or how to set notifications on or off. So feel free to drop in on, even if you're not new, you can drop in on those if you have questions. All right, and we'll open up to Q&A, but first, let me put the link in the chat if you're here live. All right, the first one is for studio members. All right, so if you're already a studio member, that means you're already a monthly or annual member of our studio, meaning you have access to our 8 live sessions every week via Zoom in the monthly workshops. Then that'll be the first link I put in here. So a studio member, this is the checkout page. So feel free to click on that. Now, if you're not a studio member yet, all right, and once again, you'd probably know if you were a studio member. I always get that question, like, I don't know if I am. If you don't know, you're probably not. So feel free to just enroll with that, and we'll fix it. We'll fix it later if you actually are for some reason and you forgot. But this is for non-studio members. All right, so click on that link there. All right, so there's 2 links. One for, the first one's for studio members, the other one is for non-studio members. All right, now make sure to enroll at the latest by, let's see, Sunday the 18th. All right, so we're closing enrollment on Sunday the 18th at midnight Eastern time. All right, so that gives you a few days. So see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 4 days. All right, so I'll keep the replay posted. I'm gonna send everyone the link to the replay, and it'll have the link below the video. All right, so you can watch it again several times if you liked it. You can rewatch it again for the next 4 days. But once again, the immersion program is going to be even better. We're going to go into even more exercises and yeah, really connect. So it's going to be a transformational experience is the goal. All right, well, thank you all so much for hanging out with me and playing with me today a little bit, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Until then, I wish you peace, happiness, and harmony. Thank you.
Thank you.